Evening at the Movies is a proud member of the I Did Not Make These Rankings podcast network. Other shows in the network include Mass Debaters, The Sip List, Crushgasm, Love is Black, Men Are the Prize, Crime Rewind, and Literature Reapers. You can find out all about our shows and more at idnmtrpodcastnetwork.com. Happy listening. You are now entering the world of a movie review. A world full of drama, joy, ridicule, movie spoilers, unpopular opinions, and adult humor for as far as the eye can see. Welcome to An Evening at the Movies.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back to everybody's favorite movie review podcast. This is An Evening at the Movies. I am everybody's favorite co-host, Casey. This is a podcast where we eat the stale popcorn, drink the watered down sodas, and talk about all of our favorite movies and why we love them. Joined by most of the amazing horror squad is with us today. Welcome back, horror squad. Starting with my co-host. Hi, co-host.
Hello, it's me, Amanda.
Spoiler alert for
I'm
what's coming up on the 31st, but I digress. We'll get to that at the end of the show.
I'm trying to drop Easter eggs and you're ruining them for me. Shit.
Oh, yeah. I didn't think of. What's up, Chance Greif?
What's up?
Evidently not you sitting in a chair.
No, I'm full up, laid down. Like I'm not even sat upright. Like I'm like ah. But it's cool though.
If it makes you feel any better, I'm back in my wheelchair today. This
It
week
doesn't.
has been Caleb's saying hi. Hi, Caleb. I don't really understand what's going on with my body, but it has been. Well, first of all, I had a new person at PT on Wednesday. So the person who normally does my therapy was out, and so I had this incredibly handsome man, and he was like stretching my hips and like just stretching me all kinds of ways, and yeah.
Oh my.
I was like, all right, no naughty thoughts while you're in physical therapy.
Yeah, because that's what we do. We have all the
It's
naughty
wheelchair
thoughts,
day.
and, just so I can make sure I'm doing right by everybody. Definitely hello to Tamira and Caleb as well. Thank you for letting me know, co-host, that there were comments because I tend to always forget to flip that on after I do the intro. So thank you guys for being here and watching. I know Caleb has been saying he wants to watch the show live, so I'm glad you are here, bud.
I hope we don't disappoint.
I mean, I never disappoint. You two, it is what it is.
I'm used to being a disappointment.
Someone is on one today. You are on an ego trip today, sir. It's only been 10 minutes talking to you. I need you to. You're at a 10. I'm gonna need you at like a 7 at least.
No, it's payday. And it's my day off from work. So at the end of the day, okay, I might tune it back a little bit. I don't know if I'm going to go all the way down to a 7 because
I'm not responsible for what comes out of my mouth. So
Okay.
you normally aren't responsible for anything that comes out of or
don't do it. Don't.
No, I will be nice. See, reining it back in. We're not going to talk about the other direction. We'll just talk about the things that come out of your mouth.
Anyway.
And even then, that could still be a little bit spicy as well. But how is everybody doing as we get ready to start the process of wrapping up Animation August?
Well, I just told you how I was doing.
I'm swell.
I get that. I was literally trying to give you guys something, positive to build on for the future. But you know what? Fuck it.
I
Get
cooked
together
a.
and have your little meeting and text back and forth and
You
create your
asked
damn
how we
gypsy
were
curse for
doing. You didn't
me.
say tell me something good. I cooked a whole meal this week, and it was really delicious.
Tell me
I paid for it the
something
next day, but
good.
I paid for it, meaning my ankle, leg, knee, all that paid for it. Not the food was great.
Oh, well, I mean, Amanda's not a horrible cook by any stretch of the imagination, so she knows how to make a mean summer corn risotto.
And chocolate chip cookies. So Chancey,
Yeah,
you're
I mean, I can't,
You guys
I
want
can't
some
throw
cookies?
you
uh,
guys want some cookies?
nope, nope. I had a statement I was going to make, but the inappropriateness of that statement would have totally gone in the gutter with both of you, so I'm not going to make it.
Okay, fair enough.
Because we never go there.
So, nope. I'm a sweet, innocent little angel, and everybody freaking knows
What?
it.
Woo!
Why are you choking? Why are you choking? Back up 6
She
inches.
almost died.
You literally almost killed me.
Oh,
Don't be telling
ah,
lies. Like we're live on the internet. The internet's forever. Don't lie.
It do
At
be
the
facts.
end of the day, I mean, am I applying to freaking host the damn Oscars or a government job where whatever I say is out there on the internet is going to come back and bite me in the ass in 20 years? Probably not.
That's fair.
So, um, so don't we normally come on here live and discuss movies?
Yes,
I think we've done that before.
I think I've heard of that being a thing.
Yeah. It's been said.
So maybe we should discuss a movie for a little while. How would you guys feel about doing that?
Oh, I guess.
You
Well,
twisted my arm.
I have a good idea for a movie. I think that you guys might enjoy discussing. A little movie by the name of ParaNorman. Have both of
Yeah,
you
I'm.
seen this wonderful classic?
Well, duh. I mean, it was my suggestion, so of course I did.
The
Oh, Caleb,
The Academy
you.
Awards, sir, the highest award in the movie world.
As far as movies go, yes, it is the highest award you can win, at least in this country, as far as groundbreaking, amazing cinema. Well, I'm not going to say amazing cinema because there's been some crap that's won that I have not liked, but not
But
very
people
often.
from other countries try to win it too, and do.
Yeah,
So
no,
they have a
there
whole
is.
foreign language category.
We're
it you know she's right. You know.
absolutely not a problem, sir. We are here to educate and
And
hopefully have
hardly
fun
ever
with
mock.
your listeners. Well, I mean, Amanda's never wrong. I'm hardly ever wrong. Chancy can't get
it's
through a
it's
freaking
hit it
introduction.
it's hit and miss.
Well, it depends on if you can consider conspiracy theories to be right or wrong. So
Sometimes they're both right and wrong at the same time.
just like the world.
Well, I mean, there was the
Right.
night. There was the night that we had the 97-minute long video chat with Chansey and Luana and the 18,000 Kennedy. We're not going down this road because
Yeah,
we don't
let's
have
not.
the time. We're here to discuss. You get Chansey on a soapbox, and we'll never get him.
Don't do it.
Never
Don't
get
do it.
him to shut up again.
That's why I didn't say anything. I was just like, you know what? I'm just gonna shut up. I'm just not even gonna say nothing because I know if I get started, I ain't gonna want to stop.
Can't stop, won't stop.
Right? I can't
and
stop.
and and you get into meltdown mode, and that probably won't feel good with your back. So
Right?
we'll
I mean, I mean,
we'll try
it's
and keep it meltdown to a minimum today.
You better
we'll
not melt
try.
down over this movie. I love this movie. This is like Megamind, another underrated gem of a movie, in my opinion.
So
Uh-huh.
this
We
will
need to
be
get to that
this
point because mm, I have a very
this
real thought to throw out there.
Okay.
this will be interesting.
Oh God. All right. I'm ready. I got 2 pages of notes to defend
Okay.
my stance, son. Let's do
Okay.
I
this.
have I
So
have I have a memorized half of a paragraph that will probably nuke all of that. I actually no, I think I could probably surmise it in a sentence. I could probably do that. I could probably do that. That's going to be my goal. That's totally going to be my goal.
Okay, so
so
Caleb, I want to
um
tell Caleb's. Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Casey.
no, go ahead
Oh.
because I'm about ready to assign him homework
Well, Caleb has
for this
said
weekend.
never seen the movie before. I just want to tell you that not that I don't want you to watch because I do want you to watch and interact with us, but at the same time, if we describe the plot and you think this sounds like a movie you'd really want to see, maybe go watch it first because it actually does have like a decent twist. It's more than just like a animated stop motion kids movie. So just food for thought. You do
Either
you.
that,
But I was just giving you a spoiler warning.
either that, or at the end of the day, he will be made to watch it this weekend. So
Yeah, it's still worth watching.
absolutely. Chancey Griff may not disagree or may not agree though because
I
he has has to be the
I don't
oddball.
I know I don't disagree that it's worth watching at all. To be honest, I don't disagree with that in at all. It's definitely worth watching.
Okay.
Well, then on that note, ParaNorman released on August 17th, 2012. Was directed by Sam Fell and Chris Butler. Um, was distributed by I don't know how to pronounce the freaking studio's name.
I think it's Leica. Is it? I think
Probably
LYCA.
it's a
L
K,
I
right?
K
Uh,
I think it's Leica or Leica.
A.
I guess we should have looked that up, but
Out
it's
of
like
Beaverton,
it's like
Oregon.
Kia.
like
It's
that's like lower cost IKEA.
It's animation, but you have to put it together yourself.
That's funny.
Let's see, but was distributed by Universal Pictures. It had a budget of $60 million and made 107.1 at the box office. If you would like to watch, Caleb, it is available on Amazon Prime to rent,
It
and
it's
you
free
may
on
or may
Pluto.
not know some. I did
You
not
have to
know it
watch
was on
ads, but
Pluto,
it's
so
free on Pluto.
I spent $3.99 for this movie when I could have watched it for free on Pluto.
I told you guys when I said we were going to do it that it was on Pluto. I'm sorry, but I
I
didn't
don't
tell you.
listen to 95% of the
That's a
words
you
that come out of
problem.
your mouth.
Yeah, fine. Well, that's what you get. Cost you $4 to just not listen to me.
Well, I mean, at the end of the day, it's a great movie, but you know, spoiler alert for the review portion of the show. Um, Time to play everybody's favorite "An Evening at the Movies" game, and the one
Oh
that
boy.
I can almost guarantee you, Amanda's going to screw up this week.
Oh.
So, um, let's go with the freshly injured Chancey Greif. Would you like to guess tomato meter and audience score for ParaNorman, sir?
So we're gonna go. Do we go? So we go tomato first and then audience.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
Because honestly, I kind of feel it's going to be pretty close, but I can't really. To me, this seems like something that would receive a bit of high praise. So, like, I would say, critically speaking, I don't want to say 90, 88%. 88%, fine,
Oh
whatever.
wow, that's bold. Okay.
Well, I want
On
I don't.
a tomato meter.
Yeah, I was gonna say I think it's gonna get a pretty. I think 90 is too high to say, but I kind of think that the critics, like the official critics for Rotten Tomatoes, probably would give that a lot of praise. But I also think that it would also be something that would be liked by the audience as well. So like, I don't know. I don't want to say like 85 because I think 80 is too low and I think 85 is too middle of the road. So I'll go 88 on the tomato meter. And then for the audience, I'll go like, I don't know, 70, 75, meet in the middle at 72.
Okay.
I don't like, I don't know.
Co-host.
Since you won't let me
Co-host.
cover the spread, Amanda, stop letting me cover the spread. So I don't feel comfortable about my decisions.
Hey, nobody's betting anything. Nobody's making or losing money here, so you can pick a number and stick with it.
Fair.
Well, I mean, at the end of the day, we could actually do that where we put on the line who gets to pick the movie for the next Horror Squad episode, and whichever one comes closest without going over.
But no
Make it
spread.
like
You still have to pick a number. There's
right.
no I get money if it's any of these 7 numbers. Like no.
Fair enough.
Okay, so
Well, I mean,
I agree with Chansey that I think this is gonna be critically acclaimed. Caleb, are you bouncing?
he may have to, but
Because
definitely
I
see you
think
tomorrow,
that
bud.
I think that it should be. So, and yeah, I agree. I think this is once you get past, just because I feel like critics kind of shit on animation sometimes, especially stop motion. But for the tomato meter, I'm gonna say 78. For the audience score, I'm trying to remember because I saw this in the theater. Like we took our daughter to go see it, and I'm trying to remember how well received it was, but I just feel like you never hear about it. What'd you say, Chansey? 72?
For the audience, yeah.
I'm gonna go with 73.
I was gonna say we can share 72 if you want to do. I don't care.
No.
No.
I have a
Fucking
feeling we're way off
Uh,
on the
price.
audience score.
so
I have a feeling I'm probably way off on all of it. But sorry, go ahead.
the tomato meter score is a whopping 89%.
No
Ooh,
fucking way.
Nancy, look at you.
That's so dumb.
You're dumb.
Well, I know that. That's why I'm lucky. It's why it's called dumb luck.
We can't hear you, buddy.
You can't hear me?
I was talking to Casey.
Oh shit.
Yeah, I ain't calling you buddy. I'm just kidding.
I'm not your buddy, pal.
Yeah.
She's really not going to call you buddy after she hears what the audience score is for this movie.
Is it 72? I'll die.
No way. It's fucking not.
I will comfortably say that yes, it is, and I'm going to take a
No
picture of my
fucking.
notes.
Did you look it up?
No, I'm serious. Like I did not. I honestly thought.
I believe you.
I thought I was gonna be way off, like entirely.
Wow.
Like I knew it was gonna. I figured my honest opinion was gonna be probably like either 80 or 75 for the tomato meter, and then like 70 for the audience. So I was pretty much in the 70s region. If you'd have let me go 70 to 75, I would have totally been in that area. So you won't let me cover the spread.
Well,
I
you
can't
got
believe
in. You're fine.
I really thought it was going to be
All right.
75 though. That's fucked up. That's funny.
Great. Well, all right.
So,
That's dumb.
Mr. Chancy Gripe got lucky with his guesses today.
That's dumb luck for you. I'd rather be dumb than
That is
good.
Okay. Chancey, did you not like this
Our-
movie? That would really surprise me. Like, I don't know when we want to talk about that, but you keep like giving these hints that you didn't like it, and I would find that very surprising, honestly.
I'm just waiting because we
Okay.
do the whole thing, you know, and it's also kind of it's kind of funny. It's kind of funny, like since I realized like I forgot that I don't have my camera on because I'm laying in bed and whatnot, so like you can't see me, and and it's kind of funny watching you squirm a little bit because you're not sure. So I'm not gonna lie, I am you know, I am purposely fucking with you a little bit at this point.
Face is so itchy right now. I don't know what is wrong.
Oh shit.
Okay, that's fine. Let's do it.
Are we ready to beat the clock, co-host?
Yep.
Let's do it.
Let's fucking go. All right.
I'm ready when you are.
I'm ready. Young Norman Babcock has
On
the
your
ability
mark,
to
get
speak.
set, go.
What?
She jumped the gun. Disqualified.
Hold on. Stupid fucking Wi-Fi and my goddamn lag. Okay, 1, 2, 3, go.
Young Norman Babcock has the ability to speak with the dead, and he often prefers their company to that of the living. Norman receives word from his estranged Uncle Pendergrast that a centuries old witch's curse on their town is real and is about to come true, and only Norman can stop it. When zombies rise from their graves, Norman must summon all his courage and compassion and push his paranormal abilities to the limit to save his fellow townspeople.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. 27 seconds.
Where are your bitches? Yeah. Sorry. That's the part I always go
That was
to.
probably it. Right?
Yeah, anyway.
That was a really good plot summary as well. Good job, co-host.
Yeah, pretty much encapsulates the whole thing without giving away the plot twist.
Yep.
Very true. So, Chance of Grife.
Yes.
To appease my co-host's mind and worries, what was it about this movie that you don't like?
Oh, we're starting with that. Okay.
Oh. Okay. Fair enough.
Would you rather wait until the end of the episode and let him
I
tell you
don't
then,
care.
or would you rather just rip the Band-Aid off and get it over with?
It's fine.
So what I didn't
As the
like.
host, sir.
So what I didn't like, I would say, as far as like an in particular, it felt like, it felt to me kind of like this was the attempt, like a Friday the 13th style attempt at ripping off the Halloween that is Tim Burton. Like a Tim Burton's stuff really is, at this point anyway, it had taken off. We had Nightmare Before Christmas, which was a fucking wildfire, and I think Coraline as well. And the people in Hollywood were like, let's go make some fucking money. And then they're like, you know what we need to do? We need to get John fucking Goodman. John Goodman was in Word Back, a fucking dinosaur story. That's a fucking voice actor. We're going to put him in there too. You know who else we're going to fucking get? We're going to get fucking Alex Borstein because she's in fucking Family Guy. That's a whole demographic of motherfuckers that are going to come because she's in this voice acting gig. Oh, Anna Kendrick? There's fucking Pitch Perfect. We got another demographic of motherfuckers to market this shit to.
This was before Pitch Perfect.
Oh, I'm just playing anyway. I'm actually not ranting because I don't like the movie. It's not that I didn't like the movie. I just definitely felt that the rub, because it's like come on. It's like they went to Tim Burton. They were like, hey, stop animate this shit. And he's like, no. So they're like, all right, we're gonna get somebody else to do it.
Chansey. So I agree with what you're saying because it's definitely like it's very Tim Burton inspired, but also
Right.
Chris Butler worked on Corpse Bride and Coraline. So I get what you're saying and I agree, but I also feel like he deserves some credit because he did work on Tim Burton movies. So, and he had been writing this story for years, like for a really long time. So whether he was going to do it as a stop motion or not, I don't know. But I read an article that said he had been writing this story for a very long time and just hadn't figured out how to put it together yet. So you're not wrong, but also it's not like a full ripoff.
You ain't wrong, but you ain't right, motherfucker. Like I said, I honestly, it's definitely something I would recommend watching. It's just that, and the connection there between the working on the Tim Burton stuff. I mean, okay, that could also have enhanced the rub, but it also was very. It's really disappointing that you said it took that it was worked on for that long, as far as like, conceptualization or what I think. I fucked up that word. I don't care.
The story, not the.
Yeah. That's what I meant. Because like watching it, it felt very cookie cutter. Like,
what?
What do you mean? What do you mean? Like outside of the singular twist that everybody's been kind of tiptoeing around, it was generic cookie cutter style of a movie, not an animated movie necessarily. It's like weirdo kid, made fun of and set aside as an outcast, and then the thing, and then the thing. But it's just like 1 to 2 to 3 to 4, and then they're like, okay, well, we can't make this too obvious, although they definitely remained at leaving it too obvious. So they're like, okay, well, let's throw the twist in. It sucks that I'm even like, as much as I say, and I need to reiterate, no matter what I'm saying here, like it was still something that I had enjoyed watching. It was still something worth watching. It's just that as I'm watching, having had watched at the afterthought, it's kind of one of those things where it's like, this is fucking milquetoast after school. What was that? Oh no, the Buttercream Gang style stuff. That old movie we used to get when we were in elementary school. Oh God.
Okay,
but
you do have to admit though, like you're not wrong because there's a formula that works, especially when it comes to kid and teen movies that, and of course they want to speak to bullying and show it in a different way, but they did, even though they had the stereotypes, they did kind of try to break them down a little. Like you don't expect the giant himbo to be gay, which I thought was an amazing thing that they did. You don't expect the bully to actually be really like kind of scared and smart and sensitive. Like I wish they would have gone a little bit more with the sister. Like you finally realize she has a heart, but they did try to break down the stereotypes a little. I felt like they show up with them, but then they kind of like peel the layers back a little.
I mean, okay. I mean, I guess looking at it from that angle, I could see what you're saying, but I wasn't looking at it from I wasn't looking at it from a stereotypical context of like the specific characters like the meathead or the bully or anything like that. I was looking at it more of the overall,
Yeah.
because like you got the crazy uncle, and then you got the whole like you got to do this thing. It's like we're going on the hero's journey, but we can't let them know they're going on the hero's journey. But then
But everybody thinks he's crazy, so of course he can't tell anyone. They already think he's the town nut.
I mean,
might not be wrong,
but I would, and like for me, it was the like another thing was like, so they just wanted to tell him. Why didn't they just fucking tell him? Why did we do the round and round the garden? Scooby Doo fucking 3/4 of the episode trying to fucking run away to a Beatles track like circa fucking, like them old school British movies and whatnoteries.
Well,
but
they have to make it, and he was scared. He didn't know.
Yeah, but I mean, at any other point, all them damn zombie ghosts could have just started, fucking talking. Because when the shit hits the fan and motherfuckers start shooting, then all of a sudden, like, excuse me, young man, we need you to go and do this fucking thing real quick. I don't know what's happening out here, but all these crazy fucks in this place we ain't never been before. There's fucking fire and shit's happening. So but before they're yeah.
You're not wrong, and I totally agree with you because I do this in movies too, but that could be said about any movie. Because there's so many movies where I'm like, okay, if I go back and watch it 20 minutes in, all person A had to do was tell person B this and game over. But then you have no rest of the hour and a half of the movie, So
no,
but it's a movie. I mean,
no, that actually stuck out less to me than the overarching paint by numbers, tell a story. And then I also am looking at it not through the eyes of the targeted demographic for the coming of age film.
Very true.
Either. And it's also kind of fun because I'm just basically like, it's like, look at this thing. I love this thing. And then I'm just like, oh, let me see it real quick. And then I throw it on the floor and it breaks. But that's why when I started this whole rant, I prefaced it by being like, no, I actually enjoyed myself while watching it. Now I'm gonna proceed to shit on it for 10 minutes because here's all the fucking problems that I had with it. But I mean, it was still a good movie to watch for sure. Definitely, I wouldn't watch it again in the next like 5 years. I mean, if I came across it in like 5 years, I'll be like, oh, okay, whatever. Well, I'm the same way with like Nightmare Before Christmas and Corpse Bride, Coraline. Like I'm not running out there to watch a Tim Burton unless it's the Batman movie. I mean that's a different story. I'd watch that a bit more frequently. But like I'm not running out to watch like Edward Scissorhands or any of that, like especially his animated stuff or I'm not running to go out and watch that like every other day or every other week for that matter. But
I watch it every Halloween, but I don't watch Nightmare Before Christmas every year. I don't watch Coraline or Corpse Bride every year. Well, I used to watch Coraline every year because it's one of Abby's favorite movies, but she doesn't live here anymore, so I don't have to. But this wasn't as dark as Coraline.
That technically was Abby's debut on an evening at the movies as well.
That it was. Well, okay. I don't know that I had. Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Casey.
Well, I was just going to ask if there was anything bad that you wanted to say about the movie before we flipped the coin and went to your side of the equation, and let you shoot holes in everything that Chance of Gripe just said.
I think the only thing that I felt like was a major plot hole, but I don't know if anybody else, if I'm the only one that thought of this or if other people thought so too. So we get that Norman sees dead people. This is like the animated version of Sixth Sense for a minute. He's walking down the street. At first you see him, he's like, hey, what's up? Blah, blah, blah. And nobody's there. And then all of a sudden it transforms and you see all these ghosts. I mean, when he goes to the street and pets the dog, and you're like, that dog got run over in the street. But that kind of, and then you got the grandma, which I think is cute. But that just goes away. And then now all of a sudden it's witches, curses, and zombies. Why couldn't the ghosts have helped them? Or why didn't the ghosts team up with the zombies and help attack them? Like, I feel like they had an opportunity to mesh those two things. I mean, the only connection is that Norman is able to then talk to the witch later because she's technically dead, a ghost, whatever. I don't know. I feel like that was a missed opportunity to not mix those up.
Well, sorry, Casey, I didn't mean to cut you off there.
Oh no, you're fine. Go ahead.
To patch your hole, the grandmother. Jesus Christ! I didn't realize it sounded like that when I said it. I'm sorry. Well, the grandma had said something about wishing that she was a poltergeist so she could chuck something at his dad's head.
Yeah.
So maybe there was some type of barrier that prevented an actual apparition, because that might have been the. Well, I wouldn't necessarily say that, she is actually like a poltergeist to that effect, but like perhaps that separation of the two things is what prevented that mesh from happening. Because like,
I just think they should be involved somehow. Like, even in the scenes, if they're like, "Hey, Norman, do this," or we
now
can't.
That would okay. Now that makes sense. That I get that. That would have been something that could have been useful. But
like, how is Norman not seeing all the ghosts while he's watching the town go crazy and seeing the zombies? Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, but I mean that could have, honestly, I would have loved to have had all that take place and then have the ultimate twist at the very end to be that Norman was actually just fucking crazy. And
no, you can't do that in kids' movies.
Like none of it was real. He was just talking to himself in a padded room, giving himself a hug in one of them fancy coats, and then
that'd be a
twist. Right? That'd just ruin everything. That'd be the ultimate crushing of that which you find joy in. Well, like, oh hey, by the way,
that is your favorite thing to do.
Not really.
Okay.
No,
message could have all the hate mail directed towards Chancey Grimes.
Sorry.
in the great state of Iowa.
I'm listening. Hello?
Be careful walking across the kitchen. Be careful walking across the kitchen.
I am.
We don't need you to break your ankle.
I guess we'll just finish that off.
Amanda is stepping away to pour the wine.
I was gonna say, so now would be a bad time to be like, Amanda, look out behind you.
Okay, let me tell you a quick story. It's always a bad time to do that.
If she had fallen and broken her other ankle, I was totally gonna throw you under the bus for that one, buddy.
She had fallen. If she had, well, no, hold on. If she had fallen for that, A, and then B, literally fallen and broken anything, I would feel no pity or remorse, because I started the whole thing off with being like, now would be a bad time to say.
Yeah, hadn't said that part and just been like, oh my God, what is that? Like,
oh yeah, no, that absolutely has everything come into it. No, that's absolutely that's fucked up. That crosses the line into being fucked up. But if I would have let out with it and then still said it and then still had it whatever on you and then you fell, I'd be like, no, that ain't me. That ain't me. That's gravity. That's what you get for wearing socks on a tile floor.
Oh, I do not do that. I am a very jumpy person, Chancey. I scare very easily. Not like when I'm watching horror movies, but like jump scares get me really easily.
Yeah.
George scares the shit out of me in the house all the time because our kitchen, you can get in from two different ways. And even though I fucking know he's here, he will come up from behind me and be like, hey, and I will scream bloody murder. And I'm like, you cannot come up behind me and talk if I don't know you're coming. Like, he's like, you know I'm here. I'm like, it doesn't matter.
Pause. Time out. At this point in the episode, you have to tell the stranger's story.
Oh. Oh man, I wish Ashley was watching. I'm gonna have to tell her to go listen to this. Okay, so we have, for people that have already heard this story, I apologize, but it's still a great story. So we have an upstairs in our house. We have a game room, and when we first moved into the house, the room doesn't have a door. So basically, you go up the stairs. There's a long landing, like a bridge kind of thing, and then you can go into the room. So my friend Ashley and I are watching The Strangers, and all the lights are off, and the couch was set up so that the back was to the door. And this was before we had wood floors. This is when we had carpet. So we're watching the movie. George literally crawled up the stairs, across the landing, snuck up behind the couch, waited for the perfect moment, and jumped up and scared us from behind. I swear to God, a piece of my soul died, and I peed my pants a little. And right after that, we moved that furniture so that you can't surprise anybody.
See that's some me shit right there. I would be all about that. Like
All the time.
first growing up, it was my mom because I'm like really tender footed, like light of foot, light stepper, whatever you want to call it. I'd go through the house just silent, especially the one that I grew up in that I live in now. Like I knew where all the creaky boards were, so like I can navigate throughout the house without stepping on a creaky board, and then all of a sudden turn around, poop, there I am.
Yep.
Mom come home, come around the corner, turns, ah! Like you literally, I wasn't even trying to be quiet. I was just walking. Like, what do you want? Now it's Casey. Can't fucking. I scare. I get her. I get her all the time.
Yeah, George loves to do that because I am just very jumpy, especially if you come up behind me. I keep telling him he's gonna get dick punched or get his eye poked out, and he won't listen. I feel like one of these days I am going to have to actually hurt him before he realizes he can't do that shit. Like I'm a woman. We are trained to like if somebody comes up behind you, you're like immediately fight mode. Like
Yeah.
And he always gets me. I always fall for it.
I mean, if George is anything like me in that regard, oh, sorry, go ahead.
Oh, he's an ass. I was just gonna say, legitimately, the couch for that room is on the wall opposite the fucking door now.
There ain't no.
So there is no sneaking and scaring the crap out of Amanda.
No, if he's, I was gonna say if he's anything like I am, it wouldn't matter. Even if like personal injury, befell it, like, nah, that just meant it was really good. Like if I could scare you well enough, or Casey, for that matter, that she turned around and like gave me a good one across upside my head or something, like that would just tell me that it was that good of a scare. So then it makes it more worthwhile. It's more gratifying. It's like, oh, I really scared the fucking shit out of you there, didn't I? Jesus Christ, you took a fucking swing at me.
Okay, but you run the risk of getting like stabbed or something too. Like I don't think you guys really understand. At least he has learned. So because he used to like he would do it while I was eating or drinking something, or like while I was like chopping something. He's at least learned to not do it while I have shit in my hands or in my mouth because he knows he could literally kill me. But other than that, it's all fair game.
Oh yeah, no, yeah. That like I won't do something like that, but I will stand off to the side on the front porch where it's all dark at night and then wait for her to walk by and then be like, hi. But yeah, you said something about running the risk of being so bold of you to assume that I haven't already been stabbed before.
Oh, Caleb's back. You just missed the story. I'll have to go back and watch it later.
Story time.
Yeah, he will watch the episode again. I can almost guarantee you. Otherwise, he can hound me about it when I get to work tomorrow. So,
okay,
welcome back,
let's
bud.
get back on track. Casey, was there anything about the movie you didn't like?
Yeah. No, honest to God. No, this movie, I feel like I'm going to be ripping off a whole bunch of stuff in my review portion from the Coraline episode. But, I mean, this movie literally has everything that I love in a horror movie, per se. I mean, even like the fact that it's got countless Easter eggs throughout the entire movie.
Yes. Talk about the Halloween Easter eggs.
Well, I mean, his ringtone on his fucking cell phone was the Halloween theme.
Right. That's obvious, but
Um,
yeah.
well, I mean, there's a few. I mean, like literally, he right after the phone rings, he looks out the window, and was it Neil is
Neil's in the
standing out there behind the hanging laundry with his Friday the 13th mask on. He's
that
like,
was
"Want to go
weird.
play hockey?"
I love that scene.
No,
There's
but
also when
it's
the
literally
uncle
like that. It literally though is almost mimicking that moment from Halloween where she looks out the window and Michael's standing there behind
yeah, I mean that's what
the
it's
hanging
supposed to be.
laundry.
And then you got the
So
crazy uncle when Norman first sees him and he's right by the hedge and then he turns around and then he's gone. Just like Michael Myers in the hedge and then, yeah. That's really subtle, but to me I felt like they did that on purpose. I could be wrong.
Yeah.
It was
No,
very
you're I would say that's probably correct.
Which one?
What you were talking about with the
That they did it on purpose or not?
yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, oh yeah. Oh yeah,
Yeah,
no,
I
they
gotta
were
think they
definitely
did, especially given the ringtone and the sheets, the laundry sheets thing.
like they had to chop it up and put the hockey mask on just to make it not so one for one.
Right.
They're not trying to get sued here.
Okay, sorry, Casey. I interrupted you.
oh no, you're fine. What about this movie did you absolutely love, co-host?
I mean, I'm gonna save some stuff for the review, but I don't know. It's just really cute. Like, I mean, you got his little alarm clock, and just like there's so many subtle little like horror things. And obviously at the beginning he's watching a horror movie, which that beginning scene is the best, where the zombies come in and the lady's like screaming, and she stops and take a breath, and she looks at the camera, and she starts screaming again. Like just making fun of how horror does stuff like that, I thought was cute. Oh, okay, this is random, and just another thing. I really love the scene where Neil takes him to his house and he's like, "Hey, can you see my dog?" And then he does. And Neil is just so fucking happy playing fetch with a dog that's not even there. And that just made my
That's
heart warm.
not the dog's chin.
But that's But then he's like, "Hey, play with us." And Norman's like, "What do I do?" Who doesn't know how to throw a fucking stick? That was weird. I don't know. I really like. I love the kind of messages about bullying. Which, yeah, like Chancey said, it's a cookie cutter formula type thing, but it's always an important message, I think, to address bullying for kids of that age. It's I don't know. I think it's important. I do have a question. Why in stop motion movies do the towns always look decrepit? Like they're falling apart. Like the town itself is a horror town. They all look like that. I don't get it. That's supposed to be like a regular town. And even it's like you assume it's supposed to be like Salem. It's, obviously because the witch is cursed, the witch was burned, and now she's cursed everybody because she's.
Well, it is in Massachusetts after all.
Yeah. And I don't know when we want to talk about that, but I have stuff to say about it. But yeah, I just
go ahead.
I mean, I think that I think the thing this movie does is a little bit different from like the standard whatever, especially for a quote unquote kids movie. I do think they should have probably marketed this to a little bit of an older audience, because I could see how this could be scary for little kids. But for, middle school older, I think this is a great gateway horror movie. But I think what they did that was different, that was so good, was they did give it a little plot twist. It's not just, when you're talking about a cookie cutter script, there's, the nerdy character, there's this character, that character, and then there's the villain who, the villain was probably wronged in some way, and now they're a bad guy, and they're just a bad guy, and the hero defeats the villain. And this movie didn't do that. You think that's what it's doing until about 2/3 of the way through the movie, and then you find out that the witch was just a little girl. an 11-year-old girl, just like Norman, who could talk to the dead, and they were scared of her and thought she was a witch, and they killed her. That's a little dark for kids, but I do think that it's like you get to see that she did just used to be this innocent little girl, and now she's angry and she's cursed these people, and the same people that killed her are the zombies, and now they've been cursed and feel bad for what they did. And it's just like a lot of, what's the word I'm looking for? I don't know. Anyway, I like that they did that. It's not just a one hero, a one villain, and they defeat each other. It's very nuanced, as Hardy would say. I did not see that coming.
There's a gray area.
Yeah. I did not see the witch just being a little girl. Basically a little girl just like Norman, who was never a witch. She could just talk to dead people. And it's important because that was a terrible time in our society. And that mob mentality still happens today, which they also show in the movie. How easy it is for a crowd to get like crazy. I mean, they're doing the same thing to Norman. I don't think they're going to burn him alive, but still. And maybe I'll get kids interested in history too. Was kind of another thought I had. Salem witch trials are always
because there's a very valid argument that can be made for those who do not learn from history or are doomed to repeat it.
Mm-hmm.
And that this movie does speak to that on a certain level, I feel.
Yeah, mass hysteria and mob mentality are very contagious, and it's an important thing to not ever forget. We learn about the Salem witch trials, and I'm so fascinated by that because I can't fathom how a group of people sat around and burned people alive that they thought were practicing witchcraft. Like I can't. But then we can also see it today. I mean, just talk about MAGA. You see how you can get a group of people together who, when you tell them the same thing enough times over and over and over and over, and you put them together in a group, that they'll believe it and they'll go to fight for it. And it's just insane to me. So I thought it was it's a good message. That's a little bit of a heavy message for kids, but I think that made it appeal to the adults more as well.
Which I think is where your statement about it should be more geared towards teenagers and less the younger, like junior high age kids.
Abby was 8.
It might be easier for them
when we saw it, but she liked scary stuff, so I think it really depends on the kid.
Yeah.
Because the zombies were a little scary. I mean, they weren't terrible, and you weren't seeing like blood and guts and stuff, but they were. I didn't think the ghosts were scary. The ghosts were fine, but I thought the zombies were a little scary for little kids.
They didn't have. I actually don't even remember any blood or guts.
No,
in the movie at all. I mean, even like when Neil's dog shows up and he's all like cut in half and shit. It's not like you've got little doggy intestines hanging out and all of that. It just
he's like the Slinky dog from Toy Story,
right? Minus the spring,
right?
Yeah, that's all. That's what it was.
Alone with pairs, it makes the slinkity sound.
It's log. Oh wait, wrong show.
So, was there anything else that you guys wanted to cover before we got to the review and rating?
Chancey, was there anything you loved that I didn't talk about? I want to list a few favorite quotes before we get to the review, but we didn't ask Chancey if he.
I mean, it was there. I mean, what I don't know. As far as like standout stuff that I loved, I mean, I don't know. I don't know if that's a strong word. I enjoyed the movie. I did. I enjoyed the movie, and I agree that it's a good movie.
He doesn't love.
It sure. That's not right. You're not far from wrong. I mean, you're not far from wrong. Like I said, I enjoyed watching it. It's something I wouldn't, or I would watch again. I meant to say, but there wasn't something that like stood out as far as like this is something that I'm gonna watch as a traditional yearly thing. Just for me, anyway. I mean, I can understand why some. What was that, Amanda?
Oh, I said that's fair. Yeah. I watch it every year, but I don't think a lot of people do. Like I know the Rotten Tomato scores were high, but I never hear anybody talking about this movie. I feel like it
Right.
got the acclaim kind of when it came out, and I still don't think it got the acclaim it deserved, especially as far as the animation and the voice work. The animation is just it's great.
And on top of it, it was nominated for animated feature, best animated feature at the Academy Awards too.
Yeah,
so,
but nobody talks about it anymore.
I mean, that goes.
So,
no.
Yeah.
I feel like animation definitely
came out
is
around
one of
the same
those
time.
where. What did?
What, Casey? Oh, Frankenweenie.
Yeah, I was gonna say. I think.
Animated. I remember.
I was gonna say. I was gonna say. I thought that it had got drowned out by something else, but I wasn't sure if it was Frankenweenie or what specific movie it was.
Like during October, like when I see Frankenweenie played on TV, and it's a really cute movie. Like I'm not mad at it, but I always will see it on TV during October, and I never see ParaNorman on. Like I don't know why, but I don't ever. It deserves more love, in my opinion. But
I was gonna say, don't lie, you're jilted. You feel a little jilted about it. Every now and then, you'll see Frankenweenie on there and be like, "What the fuck's ParaNormal not on this motherfucker? It's dumb."
Fuck you, dog. No, I like I'm a sucker.
Dog.
Would love to see Chancey's dog.
Oh.
That.
I do not want to see your penis.
Why? If everyone keeps saying that, inevitably that's what the lore is gonna be, and it's gonna really be fucked up. Like I'm just saying. I was so shocked to have heard it because like I wasn't looking at the screen, but like also having said that at the same time, I'm just like, wait a minute. Hey, wait a minute.
I think it's amazing.
Oh, I think it's hilarious, but context is king.
That is true.
All right. All that aside, Amanda, you had some quotes that you wanted to make sure that you brought up.
I do. One other scene real quick that I loved, and this is just like another thing where you're watching a crazy movie, but they still tether it back to like normal family life. The scene at the end where they're driving and the zombies in the back seat with Norman and his sister, and Mom, tell the zombie to stop saying things about me behind my back. And they're all arguing. The dad's like, if you say don't stop it, I will turn this car around right now. Oh, that was cute.
Yeah.
Because it's just like they're giving you a sense of normalcy in an otherwise chaotic environment.
I can see that.
Okay, so the beginning where he's watching the movie and his grandma's like, what is he doing? She's like, he's eating that girl. And she's like, he's going to ruin his dinner.
Yeah.
I love that.
If they just talk it out, they'd probably be all right.
Yeah. She's so funny. Yeah, and like the thing on Casey's screen, don't make me throw this hummus. It's spicy. Neil's my favorite. He's so funny. I like to be alone. So do I. Let's do it together. I like when the zombie's like, swear, and he's like, you mean like the F word? That was kind of a more PG thing they threw in there too.
I thought that was great.
Yeah.
That was hilarious. You mean like the F word? That was hilarious.
You mean like the F word?
When they're in the car and the sister's like, I knew something like this was going to happen tonight. And the guy's like, really? Because the zombie bit kind of threw me.
Right.
This was a little heavy, but it did still make me laugh when all the craziness is going on with all the people shooting and stuff, and the cops like, "What are you doing shooting that at civilians? That's reserved for cops, or that's for the cops to do, or something like that." Yeah.
Yeah.
Spoiler alert for 10 years in the future.
Yeah. And then when they're at the town hall, and Norman's like, "If I had known there was going to be this much reading involved, I would have brought an entirely different group of people."
Right.
Sorry. Oh, and stop trying to kill my brother. You're adults. Just stop. I was glad she finally stuck up for him, and I thought that was funny.
Are they going to try and eat our brains? I think you're safe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think you're safe. And of course, would you like to go to a movie? Oh, yeah, you're going to love my boyfriend. He's totally about chick flicks. I mean,
right.
That was a really big deal. Like, I know it was only for a second. It doesn't happen till the end of the movie, but in a kid's movie, to have an openly gay character is a really big fucking deal. And I like that they did that. And they still made it subtle. So, people, whatever. I don't know. I don't care what people think. I thought that was an amazing thing that they did. So
I didn't even pay attention to that part. Like I was just like, oh,
it's the end. Yeah.
okay. Oh, like okay. Well, okay. It was just one of those.
Pay attention. He was for, "Ooh, I got to get this done. I got a recording in like 45 minutes."
No, not even like that. It was just more of like you got that swerve on the old trope about the trauma bonding, and then the whole like, oh, they're gonna be happy ever after thing, because that's usually how those types of stories run.
Exactly.
And then you got that swerve, but I mean, I didn't care one way or the other about the nature of that in regards to it, but it was I don't know about the openness of it, because it was very. I find it to have been dropped at that capacity makes it much more covert.
Well,
Like
yeah, but he does say you're gonna love my boyfriend. Like that had not been done in a kid's movie, and so yeah, it wasn't like he was a full openly gay character throughout the movie, which would be something that would be great to see. But it wasn't like, yeah, he didn't say the words "I'm gay," but he said you're gonna love my boyfriend. That was groundbreaking for the time.
Oh no, I meant as far as just like when it happened. Like if it would if it would have been at any other point in the movie, or if there would have been the introduction, the actual physical introduction, like they go on the adventure and then there's like a link up at the last boss fight or whatever, and then you get that oh shit, okay, well there's that. It's kind of the same thing except for just the very 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 end of the movie.
But it's a stepping stone, because nobody was doing that. I think if they had unfortunately done it earlier in the movie, they would have gotten too much backlash, which is fucking stupid. But I'm not saying it's this big important piece in queer cinema history. I'm just saying it's like it was an important piece of story that, even though it was at the end, wasn't something anybody else was doing in kids' movies. And so I thought, I hate to say I feel like they were bold for doing it, because that sounds fucking stupid when you say it like that, but you know what I mean, right? Like I don't know.
Yeah.
For gay people, I'm sure that was like, oh, really? That's all they got for us? Okay. Like I'm not trying to make it like it's this huge, big fucking groundbreaking deal, but I think for a kid's movie, for them to do that, I thought was bold for the time.
No, I get what you're saying.
I'm not trying to be like it's this big, like, I feel like now I'm trying to explain it like it's this big thing for gay cinema, and it's not.
Right. No, I was just more so pointing out the timing of it more so than anything. Like the fact that it was something that was like, for me, I think it would have been much more relevant and impactful if it would have been like just dropped. Even it could have still been as subtle as what you're talking about. Like they could have been in the midst of doing something like in the town hall before some shit goes down.
Yeah.
And she's like, "Hey, we're about to die. blah 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 blah. Oh yeah, that'd be great. My boyfriend would love that. Da 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 da. Continue on to next scene. They still have the whole rest of the movie with, even if they didn't even say or do anything. And for me, like I said, it was just it.
It had
I
to
get
be
what
late in the movie to break down the jock himbo stereotype because they want you to think that's what he is. I don't think it had, like what you're saying, I don't think it had to be in the very last scene, but it had to at least be in the last, 30 minutes, 25 minutes of the movie. Otherwise, it doesn't do much for it doesn't break the illusion of the character if you do it too soon. It's not as impactful.
I mean, I guess in hindsight that's a valid point, but I'm thinking of it more in the context of like he still lives the stereotype whilst not fulfilling the alleged stereotype, quote unquote. But he totally is still the fucking stereotype. So
say stereotype again.
Stereotype.
And still insists he sees the ghost.
Burn and murder, burn and murder, burn and murder. That part made me laugh too. All you guys want to do is burn and murder stuff.
All you do is burn and murder. Yeah, right. That's awesome.
Right. Are we ready to sum up our thoughts and give the movie a rating?
Yes.
Yes.
Do you see dead people?
Sorry.
I said yes. Oh, sorry.
Pearl, do you see dead people?
No, I see my cat breaking shit. Oh shit!
Damn it, Pearl!
Let's go first.
Oh shit! This is how it happens. This time, at least we'd get to see it in real time, though, right?
If you hear a loud crash, audience, that's
the table, the tabletop flies into fucking screen.
Shut up! That was not funny. That was one of the most traumatic moments of my life.
Or if what she's recording on is on the table, then you get the POV of it just fucking eating across the room, just like, oh shit! It's some fucking Paranormal Activity type shit on the fucking evening at the movies this afternoon.
I was gonna say, like that last scene in Blair Witch Project where she comes down the stairs into the basement and he's standing there in the corner, and she starts breaking out, and then all of a sudden, slap.
It was the only scary part of the movie, but it was fucking scary. I had nightmares about it.
See, I don't know. I thought that, well, okay. I also was a lot younger when it came out and watched that Sci-Fi Channel mockumentary that I didn't know wasn't real. Yeah. So, like, I at first, when I first heard about the movie, I was like, oh, this is a movie. Like, whatever. Like, thinking of it as a standard movie. And then I see that goddamn mockumentary on Sci-Fi Channel, and I'm like, oh shit! Like, that's actually that was actually a fucking thing. And then I watched the movie out at my father's friend's house, who lived in the middle of nowhere, and I had to walk 100 yards through like a slightly wooded area from one place to the next because I was watching it at one place, and my dad was over at like the father-in-law's place. Oh yeah, no, it wasn't. It was not a good time. And I thought that when they found his teeth and shit in the do-rag was pretty fucking scary for me. Yeah. More so than anything else, because like the lead up where they're running in the dark and all that shit, like that Dyatlov Pass. I call it like a Dyatlov Pass moment, because they just like up and left the fucking tent and just fled into the unknown, not even knowing which direction anything is at, so they could be potentially running face first into danger. Just terror compels them to flee.
Running off the fucking cliff.
Right? For sure. But yeah, anyway. There's that.
Spoiler alerts for when the Blair Witch Project eventually gets discussed on anything at the movies.
Yeah, that'll be one I get. Oh yeah, I'll go super hard in the paint on that one. That'll be like fucking Texas Chainsaw Next Generation all over again, where I get all fucking super amped up. No, you don't fucking understand. This is why it's
Oh my
so
god,
good.
I almost want to fucking steamroll that to the top of the damn list for Halloween Horror Fest, but uh, I don't know if I want to subject myself and Amanda and Luana to sit through that movie again. Anyway,
Sh- you don't even have to do that. You could just turn me loose and let me give my dissertation and have
Yeah,
a
because
little
I don't
TED and
fall
have a
off.
TED. Right? I was like, y'all don't even have to watch it. I'll give you a whole TED talk. It'll be a whole thing.
All right.
I bet you would. All
You
right,
ready for?
co-host, thoughts and feelings and rating out of 5.
All right. Well, I mean, I recommended this movie because, like I said, I don't think it gets enough attention. Same with Megamind, and I don't know. I really like it. You know, it does, like Chancey said, follow a lot of the tropes of typical movies, but I thought it had an interesting plot twist. It was really emotional and moving. Like I cried, when he goes to talk to her and you find out about how she was with her mom and those guys just ripped her away from her mom and she never saw her again. And then, she says, I just want my mommy. Like I really cried. Like it was so sad and moving. And but it was also really funny. There was a lot of like just good horror elements, but the dialogue was really funny. I loved Neil. He was just so charming and adorable and hilarious. Um, yeah, I don't know. It had good messages about bullying, about the complexities of being a hero or a villain or whatever. I just really love it, and I watch it every year. And I give it 4.8 witches curses.
Chance of Grife?
Um, let's see. I will give it 2 and 1/32. Uh, no, I'm playing. Uh,
So what's that,
I,
like 3.8?
no, it's just I'll give it 3 stars because it wasn't bad. You know, so I don't want to go straight center of the road, but like, you already went to 4. You got to have a high watermark somewhere.
I guess. Casey?
Okay,
So
say
definitely, I for a lot of the same reasons that Amanda says, I absolutely love this movie. I think it's fun. It's dark. Um, it's creative. It's in a very Burton-esque type fashion. um, I enjoy it, truth be told, and I'm going to give it 4.6 Book of the Dead's out of 5.
Nice. See, I never go wrong when I recommend movies to you. You need to start believing that more fully and go finish Hamilton for fuck's sake.
Oh damn! What? My headset just cut out.
I'm sure
I
it
didn't
did.
hear what you said.
Why do you not want to finish it? I'm so confused.
I'm just poking a sleeping bear. You know I like to do that.
True.
So this was a whole lot of fun.
Yes.
I have completely enjoyed Animation August, and we are definitely going to be doing this again. I know we're not done yet. We still have one more episode to go, but definitely thank you, Amanda, for recommending we do this because
Of course.
there's a lot of stuff that doesn't get the credit it deserves, and generally when people think animation they go directly to the source material, which tends to be Disney.
Yeah.
So I'm glad, we got a little, I think we got one Disney in there, but then we went all over the place with other
Yeah.
movies. So definitely hats off to us for creating a very animation friendly environment for those of you that like animation movies. Feel free to stick around because we'll be back to do it again eventually. I don't know if
Hope
we'll
so.
wait until next August, but I don't think it'll be
We got lots
happening
of color months. We can figure it out.
again probably by the end. Well, I mean, there's not a whole hell of a lot of time left in the year and a lot of stuff
One
that we have to cover. So, I mean, and we'll get to that in a minute, but obviously we have to thank the hundreds for being here each and every week. You guys are awesome. You're incredible. And I'm curious to sit here this week while I get everything ready and watch and see how our numbers grow as again because we're getting consistently into that 300 views an episode situation where we've had it for a couple weeks now. So I'm curious to see if we can keep it at, keep it at that level.
Fuck yeah.
So damn right.
America, fuck
So
yeah! That was me last night after the final night of the DNC. Like, I haven't been patriotic in forever, and last night I'm like, America, fuck yeah! Okay, I was like that during the Olympics.
Chancey Grife, where? Well, yes, you were. I was there. Well, not there, but I was
Yeah,
listening the whole time.
I
But
was I was
Chancey Grife,
Team
where
America
can
during the Olympics.
she really was?
Uh,
Chancey Grife, where
so
can the listeners find you?
Instagram and TikTok is the Red Eye Roundtable, and on X it's Red
Uh-huh.
Eye Table, and you know, the Void, in pain,
No,
drifting off in this endless agony, which is awesome at the same time. It's awful.
you got some heating pads and some ibuprofens.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. It's. I mean,
No,
it's getting
no, but he's
better.
got a.
It.
He doesn't have
It.
all
It.
that, but he has a girl, Casey.
It just doesn't. It's not at that point where it's just like it's annoying. It's like painfully annoying instead of like, oh God, end it all. Just fucking end it. No, that was like
Yeah,
Monday, Tuesday. Yeah, that was like Monday into Wednesday, and then like yesterday and today was kind of more of like just a dull ache all day long. But that's okay though.
Co-host, what do you got coming
um,
up on the sip list?
yeah, I am Amanda. I host the Sip List, a top five podcast. We are back from break. Supposed to be doing every other week, but I did move last night's recording because I forgot it was the last night of the DNC and I really wanted to watch. And so that was poor planning on my part. But I hope to get something recorded to come out next week. We will see. But otherwise, the next we do have coming up is top five Olympic moments of all time with Casey, as well as our friend Chris, and then Josh from the I Did Not Make These Rankings podcast network. Um, Coming up after that, I know Shanna and I and maybe another guest are going to be doing top five Taylor Swift bridges. And beyond that, I don't know. We're kind of just flying by the seat of our pants. So check it out. Don't shake your head at Taylor.
Nice.
You know you like her.
I was shaking it off.
Oh, okay. Well
Uh-huh.
played.
Uh-huh.
Shake it off. Shake it
Um.
off.
So, like I said, we got one episode left on Animation August, and that will be. Um, I was trying to encourage Dre to come in with us and do the musical interlude because only Dre could sing to Peach's song like it needs to be sung.
I
But we'll be
sing it
talking
all
about
right
the
too.
not like Dre does.
Well, I am not a baritone like Dre is. So sorry.
True, true. But we'll be talking Super Mario Brothers movie here on the 31st as the way to officially put the brakes on Animation August. And then, as you all know, we are 4th annual Stephen King birthday bonanza coming up
Woo!
here next week. So, Dr. Sleep, Christine, and Firestarter with Harvey himself will be here, and then Cat's Eye. And I think it's being discussed for a special episode somewhere in the middle to come out on the King's birthday as well. So stay tuned on social media for all of that. Halloween Horror Fest after that, and um, thanks Grisham in November, talking about John Grisham movies. And before I turn the microphone back over to Amanda, just want to give a shout out to um, our I Did Not Make These Rankings podcast network sister, who literally, as we were going live at the start of this episode, Dre let us know that Cam has officially had her baby. So she had a baby boy. So definitely we send out our congratulations to Cam, and we hope everybody is doing well. So congrats,
And
and we'll see you soon, Cam. Amanda?
All right, everyone. Thanks for everybody that watched live and commented along. And we hope you enjoyed the show. We hope you all come back for an evening at the movies. Goodbye.
No peace and hair grease today. Vote
If
for
you're
Casey.